I once worked with some colleagues who were starting a new business. 4 friends, each one of them put $50,000 into the business, so they had $200,000. They had a pretty interesting product, they had a neat idea, and away they went. Well, before long, the guy who was the marketing vice president decided unilaterally to spend $40,000 on a full-page ad in a national magazine. Did they make their $40,000 back? No, they didn't. It was a very bad mistake. It was a very expensive mistake. They survived, but just barely. The fact of the matter is, small business owners, especially new small business owners, have a tendency to make mistakes, and there's not a lot of room for error. So what I want to share with you today are 4 mistakes that are easy to make, but easy to avoid. The first mistake that you want to avoid is the one that my friends made, which is blowing your dough. You know, when you start a new business, you're going to have to come up with some money. Maybe you're going to get an SBA loan, or use some of your own money, or you crowdfund it, or whatever you do. There's lots of different ways to get the money you need for your business. And it's easy when you have that kitty to go buy new computers and new furniture and expensive offices. And don't do it! Don't do it. Preserve your precious capital. Don't blow your dough. The second mistake that you don't want to make is the opposite, and that is not spending your dough. You're so afraid to spend your money that you don't, and then you start off too frugally. The fact is, when you start a business, you have to spend some money. You have to get an office if you're going to have an office. Maybe you need to hire a lawyer to go over contracts or get you set up and incorporate you. Maybe you need a CPA to help you start up the books. You're going to need a website, some stationery. All those things cost money, and of course, your advertising. So make sure that you budget, but you spend your budget so that you don't make the opposite mistake, which is being too frugal and therefore choking yourself from the beginning. Third mistake, and this is something I harp on a lot, but it's not starting out with either a website or at least a Facebook presence, some kind of social media presence. Look, where do people find you now? They find you online. And what are they going to find? They're going to find your website. If you don't have a website, and 40% of all small businesses still don't have a website, you're losing out, because people are never going to be able to find you, because the virtual world is as important as the physical world when it comes to your business. So get a website, get a nice website. It shouldn't cost you much. Or set up a nice Facebook page. That's going to cost you nothing. But either way, make sure your online presence is robust when you start. And the final mistake that you can make, but we want to help you not make, is selling to the wrong people. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, it may be that you're new to business, and so you try to sell whatever it is you sell to your family and to your friends. And that's, you know, they may want to come and use your services or goods, but they may not. And you certainly don't want to piss them off and annoy them and become a pain. Similarly, you may try and get too big of a client, a big corporate client. Can you even handle a big corporate client? So figure out what your sweet spot is, aim your marketing towards that sweet spot, go after those customers. If your family comes to you, great. If a big corporation comes to you, great. But if not, you're not wasting your time trying to catch fish that are not really good fish for you to eat. So avoid those 4 mistakes, and I think that your new venture should start off on the right foot.